It's Izzy, and today I'm doing something a little bit different in this live, because normally I would speak about these kind of topics within my private groups. So I am sharing with you some of the information that I talk about within my groups and within private coaching. So you might want to take notes or at least pay attention and keep an open ear. So, how do you gain clarity about what you want? What you want in life, but also what you want in business. Because those two things should go hand in hand. Often, when I first started in coaching, we would have the wellness wheel, and we really were taught to section out each area and work on those individually. But as I continued to grow in the field and experience and go through trainings and read different books, I realized like that wasn't working out so well, really going section by section and saying, okay, here's what I want in this area of my life, here's what I want in that area of my life. That was a good kind of check in and survey tool, but that shouldn't be your only tool when creating a life and a career that you really want. So, especially if you're a business owner, what we should do is we should rate ourselves in those areas so that we can really pay attention on purpose to those and make sure that those areas are not being neglected. But when we're creating a life, we don't want to compartmentalize everything. We want everything to move together seamlessly. And so you'll often hear me talking about scarcity mindset and abundant mindset. Well, scarcity mindset is what keeps us locked in this, okay, here's my friend's life, here's my social life, here's my personal life, here's my career, here's my health and fitness. And we feel like we have to start time blocking and that we have to sacrifice one to get to the other. And that's what those old pie charts would often tell us is, oh, you're doing not so great in this area and you're doing better in that area. Well, we want to shift out of that mindset so that we can get super clear about the life that we want to create, whether it's just your life or it is your career or your business. So, what we should do is, yes, list out all the things that you want in those areas. And if you are not sure about the wellness wheel, Google wellness wheel. It'll pop up. Or if you want individual sessions, I can go through that with you. However, tools that you can also utilize on your own. Go through, think about everything you want, and then we can link together and create a life where you can have it all and you can have it all at the same time. But in order to get really clear about the life we want to create, not only do we need to work in our conscious mind and create the lists and do more of that systematic way, but we also need to get into our emotional mindset, our creative mindset. And a lot of times that consists of allowing ourselves to just sit and daydream. How often do you schedule time for yourself just to daydream? And this could be part of your meditation practice, or this could be part of you planning for your future, planning for the life. So often we're just kind of in survival mode and we're just trucking along and we're just waiting for the next opportunity to present itself and we're just waiting for life to just kind of hand us and we'll just take whatever comes our way. And although that is true in one sense, in order for us to be an active creator in our lives and really get what we want, first we have to know what we want. We have to create that clarity. So if you find that in your life you are not getting exactly what you want, or in your business you're not getting all the results that you want, then it's time to step back and say, what is it that I want? Am I clear about what it is I'm trying to create? Or am I letting life hand me things and just going with what we call the flow, which is not the accurate term of going with the flow, at least not in manifesting and creating. Going with the flow, this saying that we have tends to be kind of this like spiritual bypass that we're just like, oh yeah, I'm just going with the flow. But we tried to bypass the part where we actually get to be the creator, and we have to do the work to say, what is it that I really want? So when it comes to a life that you really want, for you to be your happiest, your healthiest, what is it that you really want? Is it that you want friendships and family and you want all of that to blend seamlessly? Or do you want those compartmentalized? Do you want health and fitness, but for some reason you don't really see yourself doing all of the health and fitness stuff? So maybe that's not what you want. Or maybe you want to do the health and fitness stuff, but it's not what everyone else thinks that you should be doing. Then scratch that and start with what you want. What is it that you want? Give yourself permission to daydream. No one is judging your thoughts and your inner daydreams except for you. So if you can release your judgment on yourself, then you can allow yourself to freely daydream, to freely create, and allow yourself to imagine. Okay, if that doesn't feel good, what would feel good? So maybe you imagine, yes, I have lots of friends and we go and do physical activity together. Oh, now exercise doesn't feel like exercise, and I'm socializing and I'm doing two things at the same time. Oh, I want free time to go do this one thing, but maybe I also need to be doing this, this, and this at the same time. How can I make all of that happen together? And then when we get into our business life, a lot of times we try to think of our career life and our home life and our social life all as separate. But what if we could think of it all as the same thing? What if you could do some of your work together with your family or with your friends? Or what if you could be making friends and socializing and doing the things you love as your career and as your job? So when we want to get super clear about what it is we want, the best policy is to say, what kind of emotions do I want to create for myself? And what kind of emotions do I want to create for others? And as we can work on creating those emotions for ourselves and others, there's actions that automatically go along with creating those emotions. And as we create those emotions, it gets very clear about what needs to be done. So as we have our personal mission statement, and as we have a mission statement and a vision for our company and for our lives, hopefully those are matching well together. We wouldn't want to have our own personal values and go work at a company that doesn't have the same values. We're going to feel this disconnect and we're going to feel dissatisfaction. And so the same thing, if you are designing your own business or you're shifting or you're pivoting your business because of the pandemic, then we have to say like, okay, what is it that I need? What kind of career is going to support the life that I want? Because your life is what needs the supporting. Everything else is supporting the life that you want to create. So it's, how do you want to show up at work based on your own personal mission statement? What is it that you want your purpose to be? So often we're out trying to seek and figure out what our purpose is. What do you want your purpose to be? How do you want to show up in life? How do you want to be perceived? How do you want to affect other people? How do you want to make them feel? Because as we focus on that, we'll also get in return those feelings back. Our internal world is a reflection of our external, and our external is a reflection of our internal. So the only shift that we can really make, the only shift that we really have control of, is changing ourselves, changing how we perceive, changing the choices that we make. And so when we're in a situation, we can say, if I chose this, how would I feel? If I didn't choose this, how would I feel? And then you have the choice to participate in that optimistically or pessimistically. So the choice is yours. Are you ready to get really clear about what you want in life? Are you ready to get really clear about how your career or business shows up in the world? And so your business is an extension of you, but your business also becomes its own entity. And so what does it represent? How does it make people feel? Why is it there? How is it supporting others? And what experience will it give it? So I'm Izzy. I am a business consultant. I love helping people get into the mindset and the emotions behind why people buy, how people socialize, how people network, how people show up at work. And we do design thinking to really create a process so that people feel invested. And within that becomes trainings sometimes get developed so that we can help support people and educate people so employees can show up better at work, to put the energy in that then promotes the business better. We create the customer experience so that the customer is receiving all of that experience that you want them to receive. And if you're not sure about what you want them to receive within the experience, then we really need to talk about that. How is it that you want that person to feel when they come into the business or when they purchase the product, and then when they leave, when they're home? How do they think about you when they're not using, when they're not taking advantage of the services or using the product? And so we work at that standpoint. And overall, as a business consultant, we really look at the company and say, where are the gaps? Where are you at? Where do you want to be? And where are those invisible gaps? And create those bridges, solve the problems, and get you the success.